Chapter 3 of HSS book the title is chemically controlled reactions. But before going into that, let me tell you few general comments about kinetics. One of the things is, like many of times, the simple reactions like these, as written in the board, they do not give you the underlying mechanism. For example, the first equation says Fe2O3 in solid state, WO3 in solid state reacts at 800 degrees Celsius to give one product Fe2WO6 in solid state. Looks like this is a solid state reaction. However, this reaction actually is sensitive to the total pressure in the reaction chamber. So mechanistically some pressure is the contributing. So it involves actually WO3 vapor phase also, which is not found in the equation. So that dictates the kinetics also, WO3 vapor pressure. And the second reaction, although it looks like two solid phases giving the solid phase and magnesium in gas phase and add on, so that also involves a liquid phase, CuFe silicon, copper iron silicon ternary liquid phase also involved in that. So neither of these two equations are truly solid state reactions. Okay, so not always the equations give you proper steps or mechanisms involved. And for heterogeneous reactions, there can be different steps, and those steps can be either in series or in parallel. So these equations do not have any further things to say. Only thing to say is what I have written is just not always the equations give you the proper picture, the underlying mechanisms. For any heterogeneous reactions happen at an interface. And consider a simple reaction, say A plus B gives AB, where A and AB dissolve in one phase, phase 1, and B dissolves in phase 2 only. So there are two phases, phase 1 and phase 2. A and AB dissolve in phase 1, B dissolves in phase 2. So for these heterogeneous reactions to happen, the reaction will happen only at the phase interface between phase 1 and phase 2. So A atom has to diffuse through phase 1 to the interface, that is step 1. Another simultaneous step is B atom has to diffuse through phase 2 to the interface. They have to come and get absorbed at the interface. Those atoms have to come and get absorbed in the interface. Then chemical reaction happens. Whatever the product forms, that has to dissolve from the interface, and that product phase has to get dissolved and go away from the interface in the phase 1. So multiple steps are there. One example is desulfurization reaction in blast furnace. It's a metal slag two-phase type of reaction where sulfur in metal so I am denoting metal, whichever is in the metal phase. We have two phases, metal and slag, by the underlying thing that denotes the metal phase. So sulfur in metal reacts with the oxide in slag. So slag I am denoting by the parenthesis. the reaction happens. So sulfide goes to slag and oxygen goes in the metal. In order to allow this reaction to proceed, oxygen should not be allowed to accumulate at the interface, or should not be, not the interface, or in the metal iron. So oxidation of other solutes ensures taking away of this oxygen. So other solutes like manganese in metal that reacts with this oxygen in metal to form manganese oxide, which goes into slag. Similarly, silicon in metal that also reacts with this oxygen in metal to form silicon dioxide, which goes into slag. Similarly, carbon in metal reacts with this oxygen to form carbon monoxide, which is a gaseous phase, goes out. Now in this desulfurization reaction, you note that these steps are in parallel, but these and any of these are in series. When we are saying series, that means if we cut any particular step, the overall reaction will not happen. But parallel, if you cut one step, the overall reaction will keep on happening. So these are in parallel, but any of these with this one is in series. So when there are multiple steps in series, and one of the steps is very slow, we said that is the rate controlling step. But when they are in parallel, like simultaneous processes we have talked about, grain boundary diffusion and then lattice diffusion, both simultaneously happening, then whichever gives the highest rate, that will have the highest contribution to the rate. So they are opposite. When they are in series, the rate controlling, the slowest step is the rate controlling step. Its kinetics will determine the overall kinetics. Although we can approximate the overall kinetics with the kinetics of the slowest step, but that approximation will give you higher side value of the kinetics, because there are other resistance in the series also. That resistance is very high, that is the slowest process. That's why we are kind of equating the overall kinetics to be the kinetics of the slowest process. But in reality, the other steps also have certain resistance. So overall kinetics is lower than whatever assumed rate coming from the overall rate, coming from the assumption of overall rate equal to rate of the slowest step. It's so this concept is, that's why some people call it virtual maximum rate concept. So we are assuming that, but that rate is the maximum rate, but actual rate will be little lower than that, because other steps also have some resistance. And when we say that one step in a series has highest resistance or slowest step, that means the other steps are faster and they are in equilibrium. Other steps are in equilibrium, but this particular slowest step can never be in equilibrium, because as soon as the product forms, because the next step is very fast, the product is being taken away. So never it is in equilibrium, the reactant is in equilibrium with the product. That is one point. Another point is, if in a series of steps there is one very slow process, slow step, the material accumulation happens after it or before it?
Before it.
before it, because that is the flow step. So any material accumulation will happen before that step. With these concepts, can you tell me, if you have a, say, let us consider reduction of hematite, which is Fe2O3. So so there is a spherical particle of Fe2O3 cell. It's a dense spherical pellet or spherical particle of hematite is made to react with a reducing gas such as hydrogen or carbon monoxide. Then the reduction proceeds from the external layers to the interior. And Fe2O3 directly does not get reduced to iron. It goes in steps, like Fe2O3 gets reduced to Fe3O4, that gets reduced to FeO, and then finally Fe. So after certain time, after certain time of this reaction of reducing gas like hydrogen or carbon monoxide with this Fe2O3, if you cut a cross section and you see kind of a layered structure, inside is Fe2O3 and you see Fe3O4, you see FeO, and your outer layer is iron. So after certain time of reaction, your unreduced core is from here to here, center to here. Only fully reduced is the outer layer. Can you tell me? So there are different steps: Fe2O3 reduction to Fe3O4, Fe3O4 reduction to FeO, FeO reduction to Fe. After certain time, if you cut the spherical pellet and you get this type of layer structure where you can see all those different intermediate products also. Can you tell me what is the slowest step among all these? What are the steps? Fe2O3 to Fe3O4, Fe3O4 to FeO, FeO to Fe. Which one is the slowest step?
Fe3O4
And why do you think so?
maximum oxygen is
You do not need to know any prior information. Whatever information I just talked in last 5 minutes, that is enough for answering this. Which one is the slowest step? Me? Who said? Who said? Just raise your hand. Nice, Vishal. Yeah, why do you say last one?
Yes, sir.
Say? Please give some answer and think and say. Sujit, you can.
So Fe3O4 to FeO might be because magnetized.
This one. Now note what I said, that if there are several steps in series and one of them is the slowest step, so that means the other steps are much faster compared to that. So whenever the next step, if you consider the next step, the product of this slowest step will be very fast, be removed by the next step. Any material accumulation will happen before that step only. So it should be so if you find all the intermediate steps products, that means only the last step is the slowest step. Now the question is, if it had not been that one, if this is the slowest step, then what would, after a certain time, what it would look like? That means if this is the slowest step, now for this case, that is the slowest step. But now the next question is, if this had been the slowest step, then as soon as FeO forms, it will transform to Fe. So you won't find FeO layer. Okay. Now, when I mentioned that there are two phases, heterogeneous case, for example, this metal slag case. Say you have metal this side, slag this side. If your concentration profile looks like this, concentration profile looks like this, is it a diffusion control process or interfacial control process? So diffusion is so fast compared to interfacial reaction that there is no composition gradient. The composition, whatever the interfacial composition is, it's fixed through the slag or through the metal. So it's an interfacial control reaction. If your concentration profile looks like this, then it is a diffusion control, but diffusion in metal phase control process. So that is the rate controlling step. Then in this case, the rate controlling step is the diffusion through the slag phase, and in this case it is a diffusion of both phase, diffusion in both phase control process. Now we'll talk about some kinetic models where chemical reaction at the interface is the rate controlling step. If that is the case, the reactions happen at the interface, so interface reaction control process. If interface reaction control process it is, then the reaction rate should be proportional to the available area of the interface and also should be proportional to the available reactant reagent. So if it is a solid fluid reaction, solid gas reaction, the concentration of the reagent in the gas is given by C, then the rate is proportional to the interfacial area and the concentration of the reagent in the gas. So we are talking about solid gas reaction. Solid gas reaction can be, one example is if you have a rocket, so in rocket they use solid propellant. So those solid fuel gets burns, so it's a solid gas reaction. Depends on the available area. Now rate can be written as if your solid that is being reacted, the weight of it is W, so minus dW dt we can write rate in terms of this. For the hematite deoxidation, reduction of hematite, we can take rate as how much oxygen removal. So we can take in the unreacted core from Fe2O3 to Fe3O4 to FeO, the full thing is unreacted core. Although they are different, we can take an average value of oxygen content in that unreacted core and how it is changing. We can take that as a rate. We can take, if carbon dioxide forms in the reaction, we can take how much carbon dioxide is forming with time, that we can take as a rate. So whatever the thing you can measure, whatever variation of the product or reactant through time you can measure, you can take it as a rate. For solid gas reaction, you can take the solid reduction, solid particles reduction in weight as a rate, minus dW dt should be proportional. Now if you have a flat solid which area is not changing, consider the reaction of a flat plate for which the reaction surface area A is constant, then this minus dW dt should be proportional to area, so some constant area multiplied by C. At time t equal to 0, W was W naught. If that is the case, what is your equation? Kinetic equation? W naught minus W. Kc? Kc. What is alpha? Fraction transform. In terms of W, how can you write it?
1 minus alpha.
W naught minus W over W naught. So we can write this one as alpha equal to some constant P. Some other constant, which has A, C, ACW naught. If you have a chemically controlled reaction for a spherical particle, can you write? So this is your kinetic equation, G alpha equal to KT for a flat plate. For an interfacial reaction control process, what is the kinetic equation for a spherical particle? Can you come up with that equation now on your notebook and tell me? Whoever is the fastest, let me see. Understood? We just did. For a spherical particle, what is happening? A spherical particle, it is reacting with a gas outside. That means its radius is continuously changing. Area is not fixed anymore. A is not fixed anymore. So you just put 4/3 pi r cube for the volume multiplied by the density rho to get the weight, and just do it minus dw dt, equate it with the 4 pi r square c and find out how the radius varies, and also then find out how radius is related to with the alpha. Then come up with the kinetic equation that relates G alpha equal to KT form. Sweta, can you do? For a spherical particle, what is the volume? You need notebook? You need notebook or pen?
A into B or K,
Yeah.
K prime T. So is this K prime into A into T or K prime T?
What I am saying, that constant has whatever it should have. A, C, W naught.
But A is not a constant anymore. With R is
No, this is just for the flat plate where the area is not changing. Now I have given you a different question where area is changing for a spherical particle. For a spherical particle, what happens? You just write. With the same concept. I'm waiting for the answer. Please do it. Everyone do it on your own notebook and tell me the answer. Ajay, you need page? You have? Then do it. Momu or Sudhit will do the first test, I think. Let me see. Or Shobik, are you doing some other assignment or anything? Then do it. Tell. Repeat. Tell the answer.
I'm not able to simplify it.
Till where, what step you have come to?
Means it will
DRDT?
Huh? No.
DRDT?
Sir, is this correct?
You have to tell me the expression.
R minus R naught equal to Kc T square by
Now,
rho.
next, I want in terms of alpha,
Alpha.
and T. So you have a expression relating R to T. Now you have an expression how R relates to alpha.
Yes.
Then replace R with alpha. Ashwata, why just sitting idle?
R cube equal to R naught cube into 1 minus.
Yes. So R equal to what is the function of alpha? Yes, sure.
Sorry, R naught minus R.
R naught multiplied by 1 minus alpha to the power 1/3. And you have another equation minus d at dt equal to k over rho, integrating which you will get R naught minus R equal to kt over rho. So you just replace R and R naught. You just replace R. Arafat, waiting for the answer. Here you put W as 4/3 pi r cube multiplied by rho, A as 4 pi r square.
Sir,
You will get minus d at dt equal to k over rho. You integrate it at time t equal to 0, r equal to r naught. So r naught minus r equal to some k over rho equal multiplied by t. Now r equal to 1 minus alpha to the power 1/3 multiplied by r naught. Put that expression.
sir,
What is the final expression you are getting?
1 minus alpha whole to the power 1/3 equal to kc t square by
1 minus alpha to the power 1/3
equal to kc t square by r naught.
kc
T square by r naught.
t square. Huh?
KT square.
kt sir.
KT whole
t তে কিছু নেই
KT by
dt sir.
W naught whole
t sir t by rho r naught.
Rajesh, is it right?
KT whole for W naught by 1 by 3.
What?
W naught whole for 1 by 3.
W naught. W naught you put it 4/3 by r naught cube multiplied by rho.
Then I'll get W naught.
No.